What's up everyone, welcome back to the comic book video. Now before I begin, I just want to say thank you so much for showing support on the previous comic book videos, and this is now the second comic book review that I'm doing for the channel. Well, for the week, because I'm making up for last week, so you guys are going to see me still wearing the same thing as I mentioned before. But anyways, thank you so much for showing support. My widow dog is right here because he heard me talking and he felt like it was for him. Hello widow guy, how you doing? So like I was saying, we're going to be doing two reviews in this video. It's going to be both the Hal Jordans that came out this week. It's going to be on the Rebirth and the DC Universe Rebirth. Try to bear with me on this one. So this is the one that you get if you want to read like a issue 0. This is what I'm going to call it now. This is basically the issue 0 of the run. This is basically showing you a prelude type of deal before the actual series starts, which I recommend getting because you're probably going to be lost, or probably not too lost, but you know what I mean. This is the regular cover of the Rebirth, of Hal Jordan, the Rebirth, and the second one that we're going to be reviewing for the video is the DC Universe Rebirth, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Yay! But again, these are both the first prints, not the variants. So basically, I like these covers more than the actual variants. But anyways, let's go ahead and start. This is going to be a really kind of TLDR video. We're gonna mash it up into one, so we're gonna try to do this the best way that I possibly can. So first things first, on the first issue, the Hal Jordan Rebirth, this one right here, we're gonna start off with this one. It starts off with Sinestro warping into another area. He actually has this like home world thing, and it's the new, I guess you can say, home world of the Sinestro Corps. And personally, it's pretty good. Another thing that I want to mention is if you've never read the Sinestro run, you should totally read that one. It was seriously very, very good. It was very well done, and personally, it was one of my favorite runs besides the Red Lanterns. I gotta say, Sinestro run was. So it starts off with Sinestro and Lisa kind of looking over the area. Lisa confronts Sinestro saying that the world, the thing that they're basically stationed on here. Let me actually show you guys. This is the first page that I actually have opened up here. In case that I can't find the image, but this is the one right there. She tells them that the war world has reached the destination, and at this point, as you're reading, as the pages go on, you start to realize that the destination is actually the center of the universe, the place where the planet Oa used to be the home of the Green Lanterns. Now, Sinestro and Lisa are talking back and forth, wondering, you know, what's going to happen now, because there's no Green Lanterns inside. So does the world finally recognize the Sinestro Corps as the new quote-unquote, you know, the police, basically. Well, I wouldn't really say the police, but you know what I mean, like the Guardians of the Universe, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And then the next page, you see another planet, or I guess you could say like a moon-sized planet or an asteroid type of deal, but it shows a little green dim light, and every panel as it goes on, the light starts to get brighter, the panel starts to get closer and more zoomed in, and at this point, you're trying to figure out who it is, but at the top of your head, you're already wondering, or you're already knowing that's going to be Hal Jordan, because as you turn the page, it's actually Hal Jordan. So, yeah. He started to talk about a little history of himself, how he became a Green Lantern, how he saw his father, you know, how his father was a test pilot, crashed right in front of him and died, unfortunately. And then as he grew up, he became a test pilot himself, and he ends up finding Abin Sur, who was the Green Lantern who gave Hal Jordan his Green Lantern ring. And as time went on, or should I say a long time passed already at this point, Hal Jordan became the leader of the Green Lanterns, and he started taking responsibility for every wrong that they were being accused of. So in order to do that, he kind of forfeited the Green Lantern ring himself, and he stole the prototype kind of glove thing that's like kind of, I guess you could say, like infused with the willpower. So he used that, and he, like I said, he stole it and, you know, ran away with it. And then he starts talking about how there are missing lanterns, like the Green Lanterns themselves are missing, the Guardians are missing, White Lantern Kyle Rayner is missing, and he's just, you know, really confused because he wants to know where everyone is. He wants to know why no one else has shown up. But as you notice, by panel, he starts to see that Hal Jordan has this like hammer thing, and he looks like he's ready to just, you know, start welling on something, and that something is a little rock that he has in his hand. And then as the panel goes, or as the pages go on, you see the first panel show the Green Lanterns kind of stuck in this like dark hole kind of thing, like they're kind of stuck or lost in time, and it's just like them swirling around and stuff. The next panel shows the Guardians just kind of like, yo, something's going on. Then it shows Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern, going like, what's going on? And then you see Jessica Cruz at the bottom just like screaming in pain. And I believe at this point the rock itself is supposed to be some kind of like will entity, or what's left of it. and Hal is just hammering down, and everyone can feel what's going on because it's an emotional, I guess, emotional power spectrum thing. You know, those little like living entities. And then after, you see, we're back to Sinestro on top of the world, and he's actually talking to Parallax, who is kind of like trapped or caged in this like glass container. And Sinestro's asking him, Sinestro's letting him know that everyone's listening now, but we need more. We need to kind of like, you know, be stronger. So he tells Parallax that he only wants to offer one last thing, and it's everything. He wants to absorb Parallax for himself. At least that's what it looks like in there. And then we're back to Hal Jordan hammering down on the rock. And then the first panel shows Indigo Lantern kind of like, you know, feeling whatever's going on. Then you see Larfleeze, but then he says mine, which is funny. It's a nice little chuckle for me. And then underneath that, you see Star Sapphire. And then out of that little rock, you see a ring, and it's the Green Lantern ring. So what Hal Jordan does, he takes off that coat that he was wearing. He gets rid of that glove thing that he was holding. He throws it down. And then he puts on the ring, and then he does the Green Lantern Oath. And after he says the Green Lantern Oath, I'm going to show you guys this picture, just in case I can't find it. He's back, man. Look at that. He's back in the green. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see this without any glare. But seriously, he is back. Personally, after reading that, I was like, yes, I'm so glad I picked up the other one that we're now going to start talking about. Now the one that we're going to be talking about, folks, the DC Universe Rebirth Green Lantern. I'm just looking over here to make sure that I can give you guys like a nice, you know, showcase. Like, meh, here you go. So it starts off in the page, in the story with Hal Jordan, or not Hal Jordan. It starts off with these aliens that are trying to, I guess, do like some kind of like meetup. And it looks like, honestly, it looks like a friggin' drug deal at this point with aliens. And I'm like, what are they gonna be? Wonder what they're gonna call this thing. But surprisingly, Hal Jordan pops up, and instead of actually taking them in, he tries to ask them a question. And the question that he asks these aliens is, have you seen the rest of the Green Lanterns? And the aliens are like, actually, we saw, I think they said they saw 2 of them, and they stole a ship of theirs, but after that, they got absorbed into something. Like, they just became absolutely nothing. And Hal Jordan's like, wait, do you mean that they're dead? And the aliens are like, well, I mean, there was nothing, so we're gonna assume that they're dead. And then inside of the book, we also get to see Sinestro. And then when you first start to see the Yellow Lanterns kind of like being talked about, I believe the dialogue is from his daughter, because she starts to give you like a history of what was going on with Sinestro and what kind of sacrifices he had to make. Like, he used to be known as Sinestro the supervillain, and now he's known as Sinestro the superhero because of the things that he sacrificed. Now the Yellow Lanterns aren't known as this like unjust, you know, lanterns. Now they're more viewed as like they're the protectors. People now, what she's trying to say is like she's trying to make it seem where the Yellow Lanterns can now be viewed the same way like us readers can view the Green Lanterns. You know, the very heroic, noble type of lantern. And the thing that kind of frightened me as I was reading this is the fact that Sinestro is old, and it was just like, damn, he looks like he is done, he is finished. But I guess all characters had to change that way, you know, to kind of fit the way that the story goes. And it starts off with him being right next to Parallax. And I think at this panel is now where it left off in the previous issue, where he was next to him saying that he wants everything. And at that point, Sinestro's letting Parallax know that we gotta go farther, we have to go beyond, we still have to inflict more fear and to remind people that there has to be some kind of order. So what he does is, Sinestro says, you know, the Sinestro's Oath, and absorbs Parallax. We get to see this like giant like comic image of Parallax just like screeching, and Sinestro's just like saying the oath, like I said, like panel by panel, and it looks amazing. This was seriously one of my favorite pages in the book itself, and if I can't find the page or the image to show you guys, it's right here. Like literally the page, the freaking comic image is like both pages, and personally I like this because this entire side you see him kind of struggling with the oath, and then on this side you get to see Parallax just like screeching. And at that point we're back to Hal Jordan talking to the alien, and something happens to Hal, and he like falls apart, he drops, and before he gets blasted with this thing from the alien, his eyes turn yellow. At this point you're realizing that now Hal is feeling the yellow power, you know, the fear. And then we're back on the world with the Yellow Lanterns. We see Sinestro's daughter, Saronic, I think is her name, Saronic, and Lisa. They're kind of talking back and forth. Sarah's trying to find where her father is because she wants to check out, or she wants to see how his health is, because, you know, Sinestro was looking old in these pages. It looks like he could have collapsed literally at any point in the book. And then finally, Lisa tells Sarah that her father's actually doing very well. You should turn around and take a look. And then you see right there Sinestro standing on top of this like their symbol, like like kind of like how Static Shock has that little spear thing, saucer thing. That's what it looks like Sinestro's standing on top of. And Sinestro doesn't look old anymore. He actually looks a lot more young, or kind of like semi-old, but not too old. You get me? Like he doesn't look as wrinkled as he did in the previous pages. He now looks like he's fresh, new, looking like handsome Squidward from SpongeBob. Maybe not that handsome, but still somewhat handsome. And the cool thing is, as the pages go on, he starts to tell his fellow Lanterns that we are now the police force. Because there's no more Green Lanterns, so nothing can really stop them in their sights. And he starts kind of like motivating them to really be reminded what it was like to be a Sinestro Corp Lantern or a Yellow Lantern. I should start saying that. But even then, he starts to give him like this motivational speech where he tells him like, it's our turn now to be the protectors. Now go out there and, you know, do what you're supposed to do. And what he means by that is to go out of their way and to achieve order by inflicting fear onto everything they come across. And if they're not feared, then you have to bring chaos. You have to make them tremble. You have to make them as scared as possible that they can actually, I guess you can say, quote unquote, accept you, which kind of sucks because you went from reading and saying how the Yellow Lanterns can be viewed as Green Lanterns, and then here's Sinestro back again saying we're not going to be viewed this way. We're going to be reminding people why Yellow Lanterns are the Yellow Lanterns, and because there's no Green Lanterns around, we can't be stopped. And you see his daughter in the back going like, no, this is just wrong. We shouldn't be doing things like this. But at this point, she doesn't really have a say in it because Sinestro's alive and it's his lantern, so it's kind of one of those things, you know, you're kind of screwed. And then we're back to Hal Jordan. The aliens are running away from him and they bump into the Yellow Lanterns, and the Yellow Lanterns find out that they have a Green Lantern with them. So they thought it was one of those like ambush type of deals, but then the Sinestro Corps actually double-crossed the aliens, and then there, Hal Jordan joins the party, and then that's when the Yellow Lanterns are like, oh my god, it's Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. But then the Sinestro Lanterns that are there tell Hal Jordan that there was no Green Lanterns, you all disappeared. There's 1,000 of us and only one of you. And Hal Jordan, you know, as cocky and as strong as he is, and the way his personality kind of shows at this next line is, he looks at them and he goes, sounds fun. And personally, I wish we could see one of those moments where Hal can just like burst into the world and like knock out everybody in their damn sight. I personally think it would be one of the most awesome things to see. But then at the very end of this Green Lantern book, we see out of nothing, something pops out, and it's a green light. And within that green light is the surviving lanterns, the surviving Green Lanterns, I should say. And you see Guy Gardner, I wish he was red. You see Kilowog, and you see John Stewart, and you see a lot of other lanterns that you're very familiar with inside the book. And then I believe what makes it interesting is they don't show you this, but they kind of make it seem like they actually warped where Oa is supposed to be. And Guy Gardner and everybody else is asking questions like, where are we? Like, we seem like we're not in the right spot. But John Stewart says, actually, I think we're home. And it cuts off right there at the end of the book, which kind of sucks because it would have been pretty cool to see it in like the way the Green Lanterns book ended with issue 2. You know how Simon and Jessica were looking down at Earth and they saw this giant red lantern symbol? I think it would have been pretty cool to see them looking at the Earth. But I could be wrong. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't do it, is because they are writing it a different way. Maybe they didn't even spawn there. They probably spawned in some planet that is completely nothing, or they're at the planet that Hal Jordan was crafting the ring at, and that's probably the source of energy that they were taken to. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to know until the next issue comes out. So I just want to say thank you so much for showing support on this video, and if you enjoyed it, please feel free to let me know. Any kind of feedback, folks, because I have new lights. They're smaller, so I'm trying to make sure like it's not too dark, I'm not too bright, even though I feel like I am, but it's okay, it's fine. I mean, as long as you guys are enjoying the video, that's fine by me. But again, please feel free to leave any kind of feedback to help out the videos and stuff like that. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you all in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.